Alright, what's up? We've got a SSOCC coil from Kanger here, and you probably can't tell on the dial, but um, it's flashing there because the resistance is at 0, so that means I'm assuming that the coil inside has broken and it's not making a connection. So what I'm going to do is take this thing apart, look at it, and see if I can put it back together and get it to work. So first thing you do is just at the very bottom below this red ring, it's got a little plunger in there. Take that out, and then that red ring separates the ends of the coil. And I've got a paper towel here because it's probably going to be nasty, but you can take those out. You may need a pair of needle nose. Grab that, just pull it, and then it's obviously going to have the wick attached to it. And it came out just like that. I'm going to get this cleaned up and I'll come right back. Alright, I went ahead and took all the wick out of the housing, whatever you want to call this. And then, I don't know how well you can tell because of focus and stuff, but you can look at the wire and I guess the nickel coating. You can tell where it's burnt off, and there's still like probably close to 2/3 of the wire that hasn't really been used because it wasn't in contact with anything. So I'm just going to cut that off so I have all coating there. And then I've got an 1/8 inch drill bit, and I'm just going to make 4 coils around this. Just get them pretty tight. And these are or 0.5 ohms. Mine usually reads somewhere between 0.5 and 0.6, give or take a little bit. So the last time I did this, 4 wraps wound up being 0.45 when I first started vaping off of it. And then just, I don't know, that same day it was back up to 0.5. So I've got this wrapped just like that. And that's just a little bit smaller than the big hole on these coils. And what I'm going to attempt to do is put the wick in there, put it down in there, and spin it, because on these bigger SSOCCs there's a little hole, and last time I just went straight through the big hole with the wick, and I had to be careful when I put it all back together, or it would have leaked had I been through there because there was no wick in front of that. So I'm hoping I can put it in there, do a quarter spin, and it'll cover all of the holes. But I'm going to go ahead and get the wick in there, and then I'll come back. Okay, I've got my wick in, and I'll just feed this down through the top. And hopefully, yeah, got both of those leads. They just barely do stick through. And yep, okay. So I got that in, and then I'll just give it a turn, make sure all of those holes are, just dropped it a little bit, but anyway, so you see the wicks up on those holes pretty good. It still didn't get that little hole very much, but I don't ever wick out of that, so I'll just have to make sure that when I've got my tank positioned that it's not a big deal. And then to put this back on, stick one of those leads through the little rubber isolator, and then leave the other one touching, I guess that's the ground, kind of touching the housing there. And then put this little stopper, post, whatever you want to call it, back in, and then just trim off the stuff that's hanging. And the reason you've got so much extra here is because it was a vertical coil from the factory, and now it's not, so it takes a lot less wire. Alright, I had to pull that out a little bit to trim it, but anyway, got those. You just don't want anything overhanging there, so when you screw it down, you don't want it touching anything. But anyway, let's see what kind of resistance we get here. Probably still can't see that, but it's reading 0.40. So it's a little bit lower than it was last time, but I'm just gonna wet this and let that sit and see what happens. Go fill up my tank while I'm doing that. I'll come back. And there you have it. Got it. Again, it's reading 0.35. As soon as I hit it, it goes to 0.40. And it's not like a great replacement, I don't guess, but like to me, I've got coils that I ordered that'll be here tomorrow, and my coils didn't work, and I'm 15 miles from a vape shop. So, you know, with nothing more than some cotton, you can take what's already in there and make something that will get you to, you know, a store-bought coil. I have vaped on one of these for like a week, and I didn't really have any issues other than, like I said, the small hole. You can't use it on these coils because I only have wicks on the big holes. But anyway, it's not bad. It's a little wet right now. I'm assuming that's because I saturated it before and then put that on there. But anyway, other than that, really, you know, it's better than a burnt coil or a coil that doesn't work for sure.